And that's when I realized the waiting itself was already changing how I ran the company. That's Nadia, mid-sentence, 10 days before YC's fall 2026 decision date.
We asked what came next. She just stopped, sat with it before she answered.
That pause stayed in the edit.
I'm Grant.
I'm Miles. This is year one.
One founder, one decision, 10 days on the clock.
Best Startup says on-time fall 2026 applicants get a decision by August 28th, and Nadia's whole seed round might be hanging on that single letter.
We push on whether 10 days is a real bit or a formality she's dressed up as suspense.
Then I go through exactly what she built and cut in her last 4 weeks, and Grant catches a revenue number that doesn't sit right.
Yeah, I want to know if her roadmap was built for customers or for 3 partners in a room.
Later, the path she hasn't planned for at all.
Rejection, what it actually costs her while she waits.
Plus, a YC Partners read on founders who've sat exactly where she's sitting.
All right, back to Nadia. 10 days in, still waiting.
The on-time deadline for fall 2026 was July 27th, 8 p.m. Pacific. I've got it logged.
I'm Grant. And Nadia, walk me through the math on that pause. Because Tuesday, August 18th, that's today.
Everyone who hit that gets a decision by August 28th.
Which puts you at exactly 10 days out.
Zeiner's coverage of the deadline calendar says the same thing. August 28th, hard promise for on-time applicants. So that date isn't a guess, it's a real countdown.
Here's what I want to know. Did you already have your interview?
Some prep guides describe most YC decisions landing the same day as that call. Same day, phone or email.
So August 28th isn't a formality for you.
No signal at all?
2 weeks, reading tea leaves off a churn question. I'll say it plain. We've spent 3 episodes on this show building towards this exact moment, and anticipation is not a business strategy. It doesn't ship product. It doesn't close customers.
Which is really the question, isn't it? Not what happens on the 28th, but what you did with the 10 days before it and the 18 you've already burned. Right.
4 weeks total, interview to decision. That's a full month of runway either spent building or spent staring at an inbox.
Let's look at it together. So 4 weeks between submitting and August 28th. Nadia, walk me through what actually got built in that window.
And be specific, not a lot of progress.
Right, because in the interview she said something like, "We grew fast," and that phrase alone should set off alarms.
Fast compared to what? 0 customers to 1 customer is technically infinite growth.
Exactly. So here's what I want to know. What did she stop working on to make room for whatever she did ship?
That's the real audit, not the highlight reel, the trade-offs.
Zeiner's July 5th piece on the YC deadline calendar actually gets into this. Their guidance is to send concise, metric-driven updates every few weeks after you apply.
Metric-driven, not vibes.
Right. User growth, engagement, signups, something with a number attached, not things are going well.
So did Nadia's updates read like that? Or did they read like a highlight reel written for 3 specific readers?
That's the question, isn't it? Because a shipping log built for partners looks different than one built for customers.
It does. One optimizes for what impresses a stranger reading fast. The other optimizes for whether anyone pays you.
And you can usually tell the partner-facing version has round numbers, 50 users, 10,000 in revenue.
Wait, did she actually say 10,000? Or did she round up from something like 8,300?
She said about 10,000.
About 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the part nobody wants to sit with. What's the plan if the reader she optimized for says no?
If the partners pass, does any of that roadmap survive contact with actual customers?
Because a plan built for 1 reader and 1 deadline isn't really a plan. It's a pitch.
And she didn't have an answer for that. Not really.
No, she didn't.
Every episode, we skip this part. What happens the week after a no?
We've never actually sat in that room.
Let's sit in it. Best Startup US has decisions landing August 28th. Nobody talks about the odds behind that letter.
So what are the odds?
Estimates put the overall acceptance rate near 1%. And for the S25 batch specifically, reports pegged it at 0.6%.
That's rough.
But once you're actually in an interview, it flips. Somewhere between 20 and 30% of interviewed teams walk away with an offer.
So the written application is doing almost all of the cutting.
99 out of 100 never even get a video call.
I've seen this with collectors chasing one lot at auction instead of building a bench of options. Same instinct.
Same math problem, too. If Nadia is in that 10-day window, she already cleared the hardest filter.
Which puts her in the group that still has 70 to 80% odds of hearing no.
Right. And when we asked her earlier, she never really answered what that looks like.
She didn't.
So here's the gap. Monday, August 31st, 3 days after the letter. What does that morning actually look like?
She hasn't built that plan.
Nobody's making her build it. We are, right now, without her in the room.
What does reapplying even look like?
Every interviewed team gets written feedback, win or lose, and YC's own guidance says reapplying with real progress since the last round is common.
And the next batch is in a year away.
4 cycles a year. Worst case, she's back in front of partners in 3 months.
That's the reassuring version.
It is, but nobody's running the other math. If she'd opened an angel round back in July instead of waiting on one letter,
She'd have 2 months of investor meetings banked by now.
even a modest pace, 3 or 4 calls a week, that's 20-plus conversations, maybe a term sheet on the table no matter what YC says.
Instead, it's one door and a countdown clock.
1 shot, 0 backup in motion. That's a distribution problem, not just a rejection risk.
So maybe the real question isn't whether YC says yes.
It's why she only built one road to get there, and that's the exact fork the partners watched play out, hundreds of times.
Every partner I've heard talk about this window says the same thing. The 10 days don't create the freeze, they just expose it.
Meaning what exactly?
Meaning founders who already know their next move, yes or no, keep shipping. The ones who don't, stall. YC partners describe watching hundreds of teams sit in this exact spot each cycle, and the split shows up fast.
So Nadia is the second group.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying the pattern partners describe is founders who treat the wait as data collection, keep talking to customers. Founders who treat it as a verdict, stop building, and start refreshing email.
Which is exactly the trap Nadia is in right now.
Here's something that changes the math on her side, though. Best Startup says the fall 2026 batch runs October through December in San Francisco.
Okay, but the batch starting in October doesn't matter if the money shows up in October too.
It doesn't. YC's own deal page says they invest the day a company's accepted, not when the batch starts. No milestones, no waiting.
Wait, so if she gets the yes on the 28th,
The wire process starts basically immediately. That's real cash, weeks before the program even kicks off.
which changes what her August looks like completely. Talk numbers. What's the actual deal she be signing?
Standard terms, same for every company. $125,000 for 7% on a priced safe plus $375,000 on an uncapped SAFE with an MFN clause.
MFN meaning it rides whatever term she gives her next investor.
Right. No cap now. It converts on the best terms she offers later. $500,000 total, non-negotiable, identical for every founder.
So $500,000 doesn't buy what it used to, though. Mega rounds are soaking up most of the venture dollars this year.
True, but that's not really what the check is for. It's runway and a stamp, not a war chest. It buys her 12 to 18 months without chasing a bridge round on bad terms.
So what's the thing partners say founders in Nadia's exact spot can't see from inside it?
That the 10 days feel like the whole story, and they're not even the interesting part. Partners have said flatly the decision on the 28th matters less than what she does in the 90 days after, either direction.
People always say that after they already know the answer.
Fair, but it lines up with what we've seen. Founders who got in on borrowed momentum crash inside the batch. Founders who got rejected and kept building sometimes reapply stronger than half the accepted class.
So the letter isn't the finish line either way.
That's the piece Nadia's missing right now from where she's standing.
Then let's actually map what those 2 Mondays look like for her, the yes and the no.
Building on that math, let's map the actual paths. Concrete, not hypothetical.
Okay, day 1 of a yes.
Video call, group partner assigned, and Nadia's suddenly one of maybe 200 founders on the same 3-month clock.
Day 1 of a no?
Structurally, almost nothing changes, except the $500K never lands, and she's sourcing capital, cold, alone.
Which means the 90 days after look nearly identical either way. ship, talk to customers, fix the roadmap I caught her padding.
So the real test isn't the 28th, it's day 3 of whichever path she's actually standing in.
We already have her on tape saying it herself.
Let's hear it.
So that's where Nadia sits right now. 10 days out, 1 letter, and a business she's steering around it.
That line stuck with me. The weight is making decisions for me now.
And you called it anticipation is not a business strategy.
I'll stand by that, even knowing how hard it is to build like nothing's coming.
If you know a founder living through their own version of this, send them our way. year1@heymatto.com.
And if this one landed, leave a review. It matters more than you think.
Before we wrapped, we asked Nadia what she does at 8 p.m. on the 28th, whichever way it goes.
And
I'm quoting, at 8:01, I open the laptop. Yes or no, there's still a company to run.